I'm Jenn.
And I'm Mal.
Welcome to Chokeholds Chill. Before we dive in, I just have to say our skin has never been happier. Big thanks to our sponsor, Mil Usos Skincare.
Seriously, we are not exaggerating. Between sweat, mats, travel, our skin takes a beating, and Melusas keeps us looking less like a troll and more like a glowing goddess. We love it.
Their stuff is made for people who train. There's natural ingredients. There's no junk. It actually works, and we'll put a link in the show notes so you can check them out. Today, we are joined by Emily Wooten, a law enforcement officer, high-level competitor, and someone whose relationship with jiu-jitsu goes far beyond medals. Emily's story sits at the intersection of power, discipline, healing, and purpose, and we're really excited to unpack how jiu-jitsu, don't take that out, shows up in her life on and off the mats.
Emily, welcome to the pod. We're so excited to have you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I can't say what a big honor this is. I'm really excited to be on this, and it means a lot to me that I was asked to be on here.
We love that this is your first podcast, and we are honored to be the first.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to just start off by kind of like tell us a little bit about you and your background. Where did you grow up? What did you do as a kid? Or tell us about you.
So I grew up in Pennsylvania, actually.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts?
York County. It's kind of a small town between all the big places like Harrisburg, Hershey, Lancaster. But as a kid, I didn't play any sports. I wasn't super athletic, but I always had an interest in martial arts. I would always ask if I could take karate as a kid. And when I got older, I was like, you know what? As soon as I turn 18, I'm going to be trying karate. So when I went to college, I was looking for that, and I didn't find it. But I found jiu-jitsu, and I was like, oh, what is that? That's pretty cool. I want to check that out.
So you've shared that you came into both law enforcement and jiu-jitsu for similar reasons. Can you walk us back to that point in your life? What were you doing before, and what made you realize that you wanted to work or felt more directly connected to protecting others?
So I began my career in IT when I was really young, and I got my cybersecurity degree pretty early. But then a few years later, I realized that I wanted to work more directly with protecting people. I grew up in a really unstable environment where I felt powerless, and I just had this desire to be someone that could step in when other people couldn't protect themselves. So law enforcement gave me like a way to do that professionally, and then jiu-jitsu gave me a way to like reclaim my own personal strength and confidence. And then both of those became tools for just taking my power back and making sure I could stand up for other people when it mattered.
I love that.
I think that's fantastic.
I think that that's a really, common thing that you find in the jiu-jitsu community is it's the being on the mats can be so healing and empowering for people. I know that that's like the best thing jiu-jitsu has given me personally is just like that feeling of empowerment. So it's cool that you get to do that like in your personal life and in your professional life. So you mentioned like growing up in a stable environment and feeling powerless at times. So how much of that would you say shaped your need to reclaim your strength, not just professionally, but physically too?
Oh, a lot, a
Mhm.
lot. And jiu-jitsu is really helpful for that because it puts you in situations, that could be similar to things that you've been through before, but you can always tap, you can always choose your training partners, and it kind of gives you that, you get to decide.
Yeah.
So it's in a way, it's putting you back into something that could feel similar, but you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helpful for me.
I think that's a really good point too, especially as women, because so many of us have been through situations, and men too, of course, but women specifically, situations where we don't feel like we had the power, and coming to jujitsu for me at least, that was like the part of it. It was like, oh, wait a minute. I can control myself. I can control my life. I can make the decisions. And
Exactly.
when you started jujitsu, Emily, was it immediately empowering, or did it take a little bit of time to kind of click with you?
It definitely took a little bit of time. I wasn't, I didn't really think of it as more of like a sport at first. I thought we were just going in there to fight. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was a little different mentality wise until, I realized, hey, this is a very technical sport, and there are certain moves that you learn, certain guards and things, rather than just, oh, we're gonna wrestle, you
Mhm.
know.
Right.
People don't realize how much actual like technique
Yeah.
it takes. I was giving a kind of a lecture about this in my class earlier, but um, but anyways, I like to hear about people's like very first gym experience. Do you remember
Mhm.
your very first class and how you felt walking into it?
Yeah, so I thought it was gonna be like karate and that people were gonna be punching and kicking each other. But I walked in and there were all these sweaty dudes rolling around, like twisting pretzels, and I was like, what is this?
Very unexpected.
Yeah, and I found it very intriguing and interesting, but I was also kind of like, this isn't what I expected.
Hmm.
And at the time, my now husband was a blue belt, and he was teaching the class because it was at the jujitsu club at college. So
Cool.
that's where we met, and I kind of grew a friend group there. That made me want to keep coming back, even though I was not good at it at first. I mean, it was really confusing for me at first
Yeah.
Hmm.
because I had never played sports before or anything like that. But just the community there was what made me want to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Was there a time where that felt like you felt forced, like you were forcing yourself to go to practice, or since you hadn't built that discipline as an athlete before, or did it just sort of come like natural and automatic?
So at the time I was working full time and I was doing full time college classes. So it was
Wow.
really, I was tired a lot during college. So it took a lot of discipline for me to want to show up, but I knew that it was something that I wanted to be good at.
Hmm.
Um, and as far as like, you know, making sure that I had the consistency, it started out where I had to be motivated, and then it kind of just became a routine,
Hmm.
and it gets easier with time to keep showing up because once you start doing it over and over again, it just becomes a habit.
Hmm.
It's like built into your schedule, and that's how it is for me now.
Yeah. And obviously, like that has translated very well into your professional life. So, how long were you training jujitsu before you started, like, got into law enforcement?
Hmm. Well, actually, it was about the same time, I want to say. I started my my bachelor's degree in criminal justice about the same time that I joined the jiu-jitsu club.
Mm,
Um, and then I'd say maybe like a year after that, I started in corrections at a men and women's facility in Amherst County, Virginia.
cool.
How was that for you, being your first experience?
I'd say it exposed me to a lot of different situations where I had to learn how to manage stress. And at the
Mhm.
same time, Jitsu was helping me do that too. Just by throwing me into new situations all the time. Um, it was definitely, it wasn't where I wanted to stay, but it was a good place to learn a lot of things.
Sure.
Yeah. I know that I actually, one of our buddies at the gym, I was talking to him this morning about he was in his first like high speed pursuit this week. And he was like, you know what? I really like, I was proud of myself for how calm I was. And I feel like jujitsu has helped me with that. And he's like, I feel like jujitsu has like helped me to be calm in, chaotic situations.
That's cool.
So it definitely translates very well.
Absolutely. And that's something that I came to realize with this past year. I just had been competing as much as possible. Did 14 competitions and 53 matches. And over the
Holy cow.
more than any jujitsu techniques that I really learned, it was more about how to be composed.
Yeah.
Situations, which also translates to high stress environments that I could be exposed to during my work, you know. So I think, I'm not going to say that I don't get nervous during competitions, and I think that everyone does, even if you're a high level black belt. I don't think that part goes away, but it's more of being able to keep your composure and think clearly through those nerves.
Yeah. So how long have you been training now?
I think so. This October will be 5 years
Oh,
now.
happy almost 5 years.
Yay!
That's
Yeah.
great.
It feels like the middle mark, huh? But also the beginning.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like it's been that long,
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm really jealous that you get to compete so much. That's amazing.
She's a badass.
Badass. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So that must be hard being such a competitor and balancing that with a busy, stressful career. Like, that has to feel like draining sometimes.
Yes, definitely at times,
Hmm.
but I think, like I said, the discipline mattered early on,
Hmm.
when the habit was being formed, but then I built consistency, which just built a routine. And because I always try to follow through with my routines, I keep proving to myself that I'll always follow through. So that it's not really like ever like, do I want to go to training? It's just like, oh, I'm going to training every
Yeah.
Right.
day, or at least 4 times a week. 4 to 6 times a week is usually my goal.
Wow,
Uh,
good for you.
So,
thanks. Energy drinks help a lot too.
So on those nights where obviously it's your routine, but there's probably nights where you're more willing to do your routine than others. Do
right.
you feel like after training, does it feel like, are you so happy that you did it? Does it feel like a relief, or does it just feel like, oh, thankfully I'm done now. I can go to sleep.
Yeah, honestly, I'm always glad after I train, especially because I love my team and it's just a
Mhm.
great where I'm training at One Way martial arts. But it's yeah, I've never had a night where I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have gone tonight. I should have rested. Like I'm
Yeah.
Mhm.
always grateful that I went because I always learned something new. And I love being there for my team and just being around my friends because jujitsu is also my social life. Like I spend a lot of my time at jujitsu, and most of my friends, I'd say a good 90% of them are from jujitsu.
Right.
So
I
it's
mean,
always very afterward.
yeah, and you mentioned that you met your husband through jujitsu.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he's a
that's nice too.
yeah, we've had times where we're like, "Oh man, I'm so tired." And then the other one will just push the other one and be like,
Yeah.
"You need to still go," because that's most of the battle right there.
Mhm.
So we've kind of kept each other motivated, and it's been our thing.
Yeah,
That's super helpful.
yeah, that
You've
is
said
amazing.
you've said that motivation lights the fire, but habit carries you through. And what does that actually look like in your daily life? Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, so I have a standard for myself as far as jujitsu and weightlifting because I'm a big supporter of lifting because it helps protect your joints and stuff if you grapple a lot.
Yeah.
Um, I know that I have to show up 4 times a week at least for jujitsu. And then I make the standard for weightlifting that I need to lift 5 days a week, you know, and then I'll have 2 rest days or whatever, but, or I'll
Yeah.
just do cardio. But I don't know. It's just, it's a standard that I set for myself. And no matter what, even if I'm feeling jet lagged or I just got back from a trip or something, I know that I need to show up.
What are the barriers? Are there any barriers to showing up? I mean, it sounds like there's just a zero tolerance for like I can't today in
Yeah,
your world.
it's definitely difficult because
Hmm.
my commute, if you know anything about Northern Virginia, there is a lot of heavy traffic.
Mhm.
Um, and I live kind of far away from my work. It's usually, depending on traffic, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes away.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
The gym is in the opposite direction of that, and I live south of that, so it's like this big triangle,
Oh,
which just got back from a trip or something and traveling, the last thing I want to do is drive through Northern Virginia traffic. But
Right.
it's that, I tell myself a lot because I compete. What if my opponent is working today and I'm not? Every day that I'm not doing something, my opponent's training harder than me.
Yeah.
So that makes me want to go.
That's such a strong mindset, and that's so amazing. Kudos to you.
I was telling my husband last night that there's a different, like, the longer we do this podcast and the more people that we speak to that are like winning competitors, they're just different people. It's a different breed of people that are winners and champions. And the longer I do this, like, I can see it now. I can see the people from afar that are like, if you want to do good, you can fucking have the world. And I think you're one of those people. Like, I watch everything you do and I'm just like, I'm so like, she wants to be a winner. Like, that's it. She's gonna win.
Thank you so much. And honestly, my community helps a lot with that.
Hmm.
I'm surrounded by a room of people that, will always push their hardest. So just having that in my friend group, I don't think any of us are ever like slacking off or anything. It's good peer pressure in a way to surround yourself with people like that.
It's true.
We love peer pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to tell you, like, my visual of you before we FaceTime prior to this podcast is just Jen was telling me about how jacked you are and telling me about like
Oh,
pull-ups you were doing on the rings at Hero.
Yeah, because Mallory's seen the ring, so she
Yeah.
knows. Nobody else will really get it, but
oh.
those
No,
poor men.
like I said, like I really prioritize physical fitness too. Like obviously you shouldn't just be using strength when you're doing jujitsu. Like it's a lot of technique too. But I really do think that conditioning is important for protecting yourself, like your muscles and your bones from injury, but also giving you the edge over someone. Like
Yep.
if you're matched technically, then you're gonna have the edge if you're stronger. So
Mhm.
I've been prioritizing fitness since I was maybe 16, so that kind of became a routine for me early on.
Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely like you can tell. You can tell. This is like not one of those people that's like, I started 5 years ago as a white belt and now I'm doing really well. You can tell that this has been something in your life that's been really important for a long time because you don't do those pull-ups with just 6 months of training.
Oh, yeah. No, it's important for mindset too. Like
Mhm.
keeping fit and stuff, because then it shows you that you can follow through on your goals and make
Mhm.
progress.
So how far into training before you did your first competition?
My first competition. I would say maybe that's a good question. Maybe 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Around that timeline. Um, but my first competition, oh man, I always look back at it. I'm like, oh, I can't watch this, because you make all white belt mistakes. But
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
it's fun to look back on and be like, wow, that's where I started.
Is it great when it like pops up in your memories on your
Oh,
phone
they're so
and it's
rad.
like, oh my God,
But
what did I just do?
it's really special to me too, though,
Yeah.
because I was training at my first gym at the time before I moved, and my first coach Caleb was there, Caleb McAllister, and he's just a great person. He's a really special friend of Drew and I, and he was coaching us through it. All my teammates were there, um, and they were all the same teammates that were there during my engagement when I got engaged in a triangle choke. So that's kind of a special memory right before my first competition.
That's
Wait a
amazing.
minute. Wait. Can you tell that story?
Yeah,
Yeah.
elaborate.
So I went to training. It was just going to be a normal Saturday, and all of a sudden after class, they were like, all right, Drew's my husband's name. They were like, you and Drew are going to have a match in front of everyone, to get ready for your first competition. And I was like, well, this is really unfair. He outweighs me by 50 pounds. He was He was a purple belt at the time, and I was a white belt. And I was like, okay, I got to do good. So I had insane nerves. Like, I was completely tunnel visioned because everyone was watching me, the entire gym. I
Oh
had
my
never
God.
competed before. So I hate watching the video because I was like smacking him and like acting real jazzy. Um, but then he let me get him in a triangle choke. And I locked it up and it was tight and I knew I had it, but he wasn't tapping. And he wasn't tapping and he wasn't tapping. And everyone was like, let go, Emily, he's going to die. And I was like, he didn't tap yet. And then my brain registered that he was holding a ring in front of my face.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I almost became a widow the same day that I got engaged.
This is
So
my
it's a
favorite
funny
story.
story.
I think it's the best story we've had yet.
Oh my God. You can watch it on my Instagram, but I got to warn you, I was really bad. So it's
I'm gonna friggin' creep so hard after we get off the phone.
um,
Oh my
You
God.
can
it was
anticipate some comments from me
On the
on the
video.
video.
Oh, that's great. That's so funny. I can definitely see him doing that. Like the little bit that I know of him. It's like
it was
definitely
a
his
special
personality.
for sure. And a lot of the people that are closest to us were there in the room, and it was really
That's
great.
really
That's
awesome.
so cool.
Ugh.
So cool.
So when you first started competing, you mentioned earlier you did what, over 53 matches this year?
Yes, I did.
And
So
this year being 2025, just for the
right,
record.
right. So how did you survive the year? Like that's a lot. That is a
I don't
lot.
know. I'm asking myself the same thing. No, honestly, I just I wanted to compete a lot. I wanted to do worlds. That was my big thing at the end of the year. So everything building up to that was like, okay, this is practice. And that
Hmm.
honestly helped me work through some of the nerves too, because I was like, okay, this isn't the big one.
Yeah.
This is practice, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so that helped me get through the year just to have that as my final goal for the year.
Hmm. So you were getting a lot of double golds at most of your events, leading up to Worlds. What do you think played a role in seeing that success and getting all those double golds? What was carrying you onto the mats at that time?
So at the time, this past year, I've just been working through a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at the time, during most of my matches this year, that was kind of what fueled me so that I got the wins. And then it was weird because the day of Worlds, I woke up and I didn't feel angry anymore. Like I've been doing work to move through that. And the day of Worlds, I stopped feeling that same rage. And I was like, so how am I going to do this? Because if I don't feel this intensity, how am I going to be able to, you know, um, just kind of unleash my game with full intensity?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so then I broke it down and I realized it wasn't the anger itself that was helping me win. It was the lack of hesitation with
Mm-hmm.
my just um, doing my techniques with absolutely zero reservation at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that no matter what emotional state I was in, I could always have that, just the zero hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
So being in the actual moment, like, you wake up and basically, I mean, I've had small experiences where all of a sudden like my road rage is gone for 3 weeks and I'm like, what is going on with me? I don't know, like little stuff like that. So I imagine like that must have been a massive shift for you of like, wait a minute, who am I right now? And then how do I do this? So how did you reframe the fear of losing anger in that moment to keep going?
Well, at first I was like, oh man, like I need this today. Why am I not feeling it today? I mean, I realized that it was a good thing. Like I'm healing from, anger is pain. So
Sure.
I've been working through that. Um, but I was like, now of all times, like really? Like this is the day that I actually need.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, come on, man. But then I was like, wait, but what was it really the anger? Like what was behind the anger that was helping me win? And I was just sitting there thinking about it and I was like, you know what? the intensity came from just me executing without stopping,
Hmm.
and the anger helped me do that. But that's the real thing that helped me win.
Yeah. So are you are saying, from what I hear, it sounds to me like your success comes from, or your success on the competition mats is literally coming from zero hesitation. There's no stopping. I'm going to win this, and just keep moving instead of letting like any kind of doubt or questions creep into your head.
Yeah, and when I was competing before, I would do this thing of like looking up my opponents online and
Hmm.
seeing what their
Oh,
accolades were. And I think that's a normal thing for a lot of people when they're prepping for a competition, but I would let myself get psyched out over it, over like,
hmm.
oh my gosh, this person won pans, or
Yeah.
this person's been training X amount of time, or they won this many matches. But on competition day, like, I started to tell myself, I'm willing to fight anyone,
Hmm.
and just because they won X, Y, or Z doesn't mean that I'm not good and that I can't execute my game.
Right.
So as I worked through the year with having so many matches, I started to see, wait, I can actually win against people who've done a lot of really big things.
Hmm.
And the reverse of that, not to like underestimate people too, because I lost to people who really hadn't won that much or hadn't competed that much. So it made me realize that accolades don't really mean that much.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think a
so
lot of it is mindset too.
yeah, that's a huge part of the game,
Hmm.
and I'm very impressed with yours. So
Think,
I mean, we talked about, you feeling so different that day and having the nerves, and what can you tell us a little bit about Worlds and your experience there?
yeah. So at first I felt I mean, I was scared for sure going into that. And my bracket was pretty big. I knew I would have to win 4 matches to be able to win the whole thing, which it doesn't sound like that much, but when you're at a world's pace, like
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
So, um, but yeah, because there were 26 in my bracket, and so I went into there and I was like already feeling kind of overwhelmed. But then I was like, you know what? I need to break this down match by match and only think about the match that's in front of me, and not be thinking about how much work I have to do. Um,
Hmm.
so each match I would just be like, all right, this one, I can do this one. And I would say that no one I kind of rehearsed in my head, like, no one gets to intimidate me and nothing here gets to intimidate me. I just need to win this one match. I've done big things before that I didn't think were possible, like reaching goals in my career or passing through police academies or just different things, getting my degrees in college. I've done things before that I didn't think that I could do. So I
Hmm.
know that I know I can win this match.
Yeah, I know I can do hard things. That's
Yeah.
such a good mantra. So I feel like that was a good transition into talking a little bit more about, your law enforcement. So the thing like with jujitsu is, we get different sizes. You can do so much. Jen is like the tiniest girl in our gym, but she can fucking take down any size man in our gym. Like, it
Oh,
doesn't fucking
Yes.
matter.
I'm a
But
guard puller. Come
no,
on now.
but it does
But
matter.
I'll defend it.
You can fucking kill anybody in our gym. But and then in like law enforcement, there's definitely size differences like
Oh
across the
yeah.
board. So how has training influenced your real world decision making?
Well, it definitely helps me be more confident in
Hmm.
situations. But I'm also like in the 130s, so I try to be
Yeah.
realistic about biological differences, strength differences, and I try not to get like overconfident just because I train jujitsu and most people don't, because I
Exactly.
don't want myself in a bad situation where my immediate response is to go hands on with someone a lot bigger and stronger. I try to use intermediate tools as much as possible if I have a use of force situation. Jiu-jitsu is another tool that I can use and it's there if I need it. but it's not the first thing that I go to, you know, being a smaller female.
Right.
So I try to be realistic about that. It definitely helps. And it's there if I need it. But, you know, I have to not get overconfident just because I train.
Yeah.
It just gives you a lot mentally to have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and it does help with what you were saying, like pushing through hard things. Like I know that I can do what I need to do. And I think competing helps a lot with that confidence.
Yeah. So aside from the technique and then the knowledge that if you need jujitsu, it's there, what has jujitsu given you mentally as a law enforcement officer?
Well, I think definitely a community. That's a big part of it outside of work, because a lot of times in law enforcement, people's only friends are the people that they work with because they're always at work. There's a lot of mandatory overtime involved in law enforcement. Um, and because of that, you never really have people on the outside that you connect with to decompress. It's just people that are going through all of the same things. So I think that community outside of work is really, really important. And like I said, most of my friends, I'd say a good 90% of them are from jiu-jitsu. My husband's from jiu-jitsu. So I think the community aspect is really important. And then also having like a physical outlet to decompress. That's also important. Someplace that will train and help you get physically conditioned for if you need to fight at work, like on your job. But also just like having a place where you can kind of focus on techniques and focus on roles and not be thinking about other things that are work related. Just kind of stepping away for a bit.
Do you have any friends that are overlap in both of your worlds? So people that you work with and also train with?
Yeah, I mean, I would say not specifically from my agency at my gym, but like there's other law enforcement that does go to my gym, you know, and I always think that's cool. I love to see other cops training. I think that's really important.
Do you think that it should be mandatory in some instances?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do think that every cop should be training. For the, you know, it's great for decompressing, but it's also like we need to know technique about how to fight and not just rely on tools, because we need that as an option as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely notice it here. Our high-speed chase friend. He didn't need it, but you know, I've seen
Yeah.
him go from like this spazzy white belt who wants to like do like these jumping warm-ups and like for the fundamentals class, and to now he's like he'll just sit guard and just be like, all right, beat me up.
Yeah. Well, it does help with resilience too,
Yeah.
like with that too of not giving up during a fight.
And if you could make it through the first year of just getting absolutely smashed, like
Oh,
Oh God.
that's huge.
yeah.
You got to be the nail for a while when you
Yeah.
start.
That's humbling. And I would tell any officer that's starting out, like, get prepared to get beaten up for, I mean, I still get beaten up, but it's like when you're starting out, it's really difficult because you
Yeah.
literally don't know anything and you're in a group, like a room of people that do know. And it can, you know, it can be confusing too, learning all these puzzle pieces at the same time as trying to assemble them.
Yes.
So it can be really overwhelming, but I would encourage any law enforcement officer that's starting their journey in jiu-jitsu to just stick with it, even when it's tough, even on days when it's not fun. It's going to be worth it.
But looking back on the year that you just had, you know, obviously you've progressed a lot, you've grown a lot. What matters the most to you? Like what are you the most proud of?
I would say definitely not my tangible results like medals or anything. Those boost confidence and they're great. But, you know, medals and results are just snapshots. Because you can be having a good day and maybe your opponent has a bad day, or your opponent has a bad day and you have a good day. You know, it's inconsistent day to day. There's so many factors that go into a competition. Uh, that you can't really determine your progress by that completely. It's more of the skill set, and I think that's the most valuable thing, alongside with the mental resilience and the mindset that competing has really sharpened for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also great because it's motivated me to train a lot, and not just show up to class casually, but pick something that I want to learn and really hammer down to use in my.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely the most valuable thing is the skills that you kind of earn by competing a lot. You see all the things in your game that you're not great at, that you need to brush up on, because it exposes your weaknesses when
Right.
you review footage or whatever. So that to me is way more valuable than the tangible results.
Yeah. Is there a specific loss that you can think of that really taught you something important? Like,
Hmm.
that's a tough question. I'm here for
It's
Yeah.
a
tough
loaded
questions.
question
It is a
too,
loaded question.
right?
But sometimes, like sometimes you just have that one moment where you make this
Yeah.
realization and it changes your game. It
Yeah.
changes a big
Yeah.
aspect
Yeah.
of your game. So sometimes there's just those moments and it's like, holy shit, I might have just gotten my ass kicked, but I learned so much from that match.
Yeah. So actually, one of my best matches that I got the most footage from was that was like the most helpful, was from New York, the New York Open in Nogi. I remember I lost to a ref's decision in the finals.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like it was a very back and forth match where I had a tough opponent. She was good. And we gave each other a lot of feedback. So that was really helpful to review that footage. But I think the takeaway there was, even though I ended up getting silver and not gold in that one,
mm-hmm.
I walked away and I was the same grappler as I
Yeah.
was before. I had gotten a lot of double gold, and I realized, these results don't change me as a grappler. I'm still the same competitor as I was before, even if I win or I lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of from the results in that way.
Yeah. And then, I mean, placing third at Nogi Worlds obviously reinforced that, discipline and the hard work. And like nothing's out of reach. Like you just have to be willing to do scary things. So, you know,
Absolutely.
yeah, I just think that it's really amazing. Is there anything that you are scared of?
Yeah.
I'm scared every time I compete,
Yeah.
honestly. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and
Hmm.
I think that's normal. I don't think that goes away. I wish it would. I really do. But if you talk to high level black belt grapplers, if they tell you that they don't get nervous, I think they're lying. I think they all still get nervous no matter how much they compete.
Hmm.
So it's normal. Um, but I'm sorry, what was the question?
I just said it like, is there anything that you're scared of? Because it just seems like you're so fearless and
Yeah.
it's just awesome to see.
Thanks. I mean, I'm definitely not fearless, but it's more like, it's okay to feel um, nervous or afraid or intimidated, but it's all about what you do with that and still carrying out what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there anything that you're afraid to chase?
Um, Not really. I mean, at this point, I've done a lot of things in my life that I thought were impossible and that all made me afraid. But I think the more that you put yourself in those situations where you're forced to confront things that intimidate you, I think you realize how much you really can do despite feeling afraid.
Hell
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
She's like
I'm just sitting here
so
nodding.
inspiring. Yeah, I'm like, yes, bitch, go.
Oh,
So good.
So what's on the horizon for you? What do you have coming up over the next few months?
I'm gonna give gi pans and gi worlds a try. Um, I'd like to try to win first. Um, I think that'd be really cool. If not, I'm just, I'm gonna keep working at it, and I just want to get better. That's my main goal.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, 2026. Are you trying to do 53 matches or more?
Well, I don't know about that. I think this year I'm still gonna be training a
Yeah.
lot, obviously, but I think I might take a rest a little bit from
Yeah.
competing at And, you know, I think that's important. I think there's seasons where you can really go at it a lot, but then there's also seasons where it's okay to just rest a little bit to
Yeah,
recover. So I think,
especially with how long jiu-jitsu is. It's not a short sport.
yeah, yeah, and I want the longevity protected.
Mm-hmm.
So I think after Gi Worlds, you know, I'll take a little break. I'm not going to be out of the competition scene for forever.
Nice. Nice.
So if there's anybody listening to this right now, whether, you know, if they're feeling powerless or they're feeling unsure, what would you tell them? What would you want them to know?
I would say definitely keep showing up and you know, you can do amazing things. You just have to believe that you can. And you have to put yourself in situations and take
Mhm.
risks for things that you do want.
And then if you could give yourself, your white belt self advice, what would that be?
It would be that nothing is out of reach.
Hmm.
Whatever goals you have, just set up tangible steps and checkpoints
Hmm.
to reaching goals, you know, because it can seem intimidating if you look at it and it's far away.
Hmm.
But just set checkpoints for yourself and tell yourself all you need to do is get to the next checkpoint. Break
Yeah.
it down into, you know, compartmentalize it
Hmm.
into steps.
Hmm.
That's great.
So we love to wrap up our episodes with a little bit of rapid fire questions. Are you down for that?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's
Woo.
do it.
All right. So we'll start simple. Gi or no gi?
Oh, that's tough because I started in no-gi maybe for my first year and a half. I wasn't in the gi a lot, but now I really like the gi because I love the grips. I weight train a lot and I feel
Hmm.
like I can grab and then slow the person down and then set up a guard.
Nice.
So, that's really tough. I got to go with no-gi because it was my first love. So,
Yeah. No gi follow up. Do you prefer your opponent to be wearing a long sleeve rash guard or short sleeve?
hmm, I never thought about that one.
Some of us
I
don't
don't
care.
No, some of us, you know, sometimes those arms can be like slick like seals and it's
Yeah.
friggin'
Which one do you
hard.
think? Which one do you think is more slippery, the
I
rash
don't
guard?
know. That's why I'm asking
You
you.
could go either way.
This is the first time I've ever asked that
This
question.
is
I
a
just thought of
revealing
that.
question.
I don't know. That's tough. That's tough
All right, you think on that and get back to us when you decide.
for sure. For sure.
Carrying on.
So, what is your go-to post-comp meal?
Cool. Okay. I know the answer for this one. I love acai bowls. They're
Yes.
everything, and they have to have Nutella in them.
Oh, yes,
Ooh.
like Nutella, peanut butter, bananas. Come on.
Oh my God.
Strawberries,
Oh,
blueberries.
Starving.
hell yeah.
Coconut.
Oh,
Honey.
love acai bowls. And you know, I don't even care about being healthy when I after my competitions. It's time to cheat and enjoy something.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Mel's got a
Uh,
couple more.
if you had a super fight tomorrow, what would your walkout song be?
Definitely Kingdom by Downstraight because my husband and I, every time that we would go to a competition, we always listen to that on the way there. So it's kind of our tradition.
That's
Nice.
great. If there was a day that you had off from work and you had were not allowed to do any jujitsu, what would that day look like?
Also, no lifting.
And no lifting, yes.
Okay, how about running? Am I allowed to run?
No, nope. One day where you're just like
What's a rest day look
you gotta
like?
like rot on the couch or
Oh
something. Like, what
God.
are you
Okay,
watching when you rot on the couch?
It's
what
evolved.
I would do, I would go crazy. That's
Yeah,
what I would
I
do.
feel that.
That's totally
Yeah,
fair.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
do it.
It's so built into my lifestyle that I just get stir crazy if I sit
Hmm.
around too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like watching movies, I guess.
Yeah.
I like watching scary movies.
All right, the last question we always ask everybody is if you had to describe yourself, or no, if your best friend had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, let's see. I don't know. Definitely I would say resilient, I guess, just because I've been through a lot of stuff, and I never let it get me down or use it as an excuse. So that's one of them. Definitely assertive. And that goes hand in hand with like my job, my background, and then I would say honest. I'm not afraid to say things how they are. And I value integrity a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Like you're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You too, though.
Well, especially like you're in your 20s, right? So like that's
Like,
the other thing. Like people don't usually reach this level of like personal enlightenment and work in their 20s.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks. I definitely have a long way to go and a lot to work on.
Yeah, but
But
I feel like the future is
Very bright.
very bright for you.
thank you so much.
Yeah, so we love following you in your journey, your jujitsu life.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
where can people find you?
If you
So
would like them to.
so I train under Muhammad Ali,
hmm
uh, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion
Yeah.
in Springfield, Virginia at One Way Martial Arts.
Nice.
Amazing.
And any socials or anything that you want to share?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is arm Barbie girl, arm_Barbie girl.
Love that.
So yeah, I had to come up with something because I'm a blonde, and I
That's
love.
great. Well, I mean, I already told you we're gonna go creep hard and look for that engagement video. So, but oh my gosh, we have like
Yeah.
so loved talking to you.
This has been great.
Yeah, is there
You
anything else
too.
that you want to
Yeah.
share or put out there into the world?
No, just I always just try to tell people to believe in themselves,
Mm.
no matter what you've been through or what you came from, you can achieve your dreams. You just got to break them down into steps and then pursue them and believe that you can.
Fabulous.
We're gonna insert applause here.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it.
Excellent. Well,
Well,
Emily, thank you
Thank you.
so much for talking with us and sharing your story. We're just really, really inspired over here.
yeah, I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
hopefully meet you in person someday and get my ass kicked
That's
by
what I'm
you,
in for
I'm
too.
sure.
Yeah, I'd like to get my ass kicked
No,
by you.
th- thank you guys so much for having me. Like, this was an honor to be on this podcast. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to meeting you too.
Yes, we appreciate you a lot.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram at Chokeholds and Chill Pod, or shoot us a message at chokeholdsandchillpod@gmail.com.